Hello, Navajo County. Jason Whiting, Navajo County Supervisor, and here with one of my good friends and fellow supervisors.
Hello, I'm Donna Faye Whitesinger from District 5.
We're glad to be with you here today. Today we had a chance, new year, new election, and wanted to congratulate Vice Chair Whitesinger in her role as Vice Chair this coming year.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And we are grateful to be able to have Supervisor Whiting to be able to serve as our chair again this year. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's an honor. I enjoy working with our board. Everybody does a great job of representing their districts, and it's great to be in the collaborative and working with them. Wanted to share, just as we talk about it, what do you see as your role as Vice Chair?
To support you.
That's a heavy lift.
Right? It is. I really think it's an extension of the representation that you offer to Navajo County as a whole, and to support our organization and representation, and being able to just get us out there and to be able to, the big part, I guess, of our roles in leadership is conducting the meetings and making sure that we're hearing from the public. And so I'm here to support you.
Well, thank you. You do a great job.
Thank you. What does that look like for you?
I would agree with you. I think that the titles that we have, because of the way our board chooses to operate, which is my experience is very collaborative, and we all work really well together. So everybody has a chance to speak into the process. We consider what's being shared and then find a way to move forward. But in reality, a lot of times it consists of that we're running a meeting, or we're helping when there's a need for somebody to take a point on it, that you and I are engaged in those issues and always report back to the board. We never act without their permission or their direction, but it just gives us an opportunity to serve the board in a different way. So, but looking forward to it this coming year. So
yes, it should be a good year. And so in thinking about the new year, what are some of the things that you're excited about?
You know, one of my personal goals, and I would encourage people, I know this is not necessarily a county thing, but it is, and embodies who we are, is just to assume positive intent, to look for the best in people. People wake up in the morning with the intent to go out and do good and accomplish good things, and looking for opportunities to see the good in people, because there's a lot of it out there. I've noticed as I've been intentional around that, how much more I see people trying to do good, even if it's done a little differently than maybe I would have done it. So how about for you as you look into 2025?
I certainly can align with that. I think that's very appropriate. I think that when we think of New Year, generally we're thinking about those things that we could do better, to how can I improve myself, and how can I get closer to who I am supposed to be, I guess. What is my greatest potential? And so when we think about what our greatest potential is, it really is about humanity. It's about kindness and recognizing other people's strengths. And I think as a community and as Navajo County, that there are so many people within our communities that truly are very kind and compassionate, and really are valuable to protecting our children, to watching over public safety, to just everyday parts of every little parts of our days, those things. So there are lots of good people within our community.
Truly are, and we live in communities that kind of operate under the see a need, fill a need, and people look for opportunities and ways to lift our communities, and we're just grateful to be able to partner with them in those projects. Speaking of projects, we had a number of capital projects we got to talk about today, which are kind of exciting. Talking about some new things that are happening in the county. Are any of them that stood out to you that today in our meeting?
Well, certainly we're all looking forward to the broadband that we've been working on for quite some time, that this year we'll be able to see an end to that project and see the implementation and how it is benefiting our communities. So that's really exciting. I know that we've been able to help a lot of local communities and some of the project needs, and I'm grateful that Navajo County can be part of those projects.
I would agree. And we were able to kind of look at what are the things that we need to do, broadband being a big one that contributes to all of our citizens that are here, but also looking at our needs as a county, the services we provide, the buildings that we have and that we're responsible for, and what are the things that we need to do and make an investment in. And those are all moving forward in a way that I believe we all could be proud of. So that's kind of exciting. We also got a chance to talk a little bit about the comprehensive plan today. What'd you think?
I think it's good. I think it's a good step for us, because one of the things that we did in the comprehensive plan is that we reached out to all of our communities and asked, what do you want this plan to look like? Or what are some of the things that the county needs to know as citizen that's going to affect me? And so I was really grateful for the community response. It took a year for us to complete the comprehensive plan, and we really took into consideration our community members and our property owners and so forth. And I think that's really important and really is going to be a value set for us going forward and being able to help our citizens when they're looking at, well, I want to be able to enhance my land or whatever it might be. Yeah.
I had to say the same thing. I was really impressed. They'd taken a year to do it, and I knew that there was a lot of lift happening, but the report went into great detail about all the different ways they tried to connect with people and make sure that people were aware of it and had a chance to be able to speak into it. And then it was reflective of our citizens and what they had wanted, which now leads us into the next step where we get a chance to look at some of the ordinances and those things to make sure they're in alignment with that master plan. Yes. So excited about that and what's coming this coming year. It's a lot to work on.
I agree. There was a lot of good stuff. And I think, one of the things that stood out is that, one, it's mandated that we have to do that every 10 years, that we have to create a comprehensive plan. But when we think about what it is that we have to do, we think the transportation part of it, and the other part slips my mind. Do you remember? There's two parts, the transportation component and there's an additional component. But our organization, we looked beyond that. We didn't just look at those two particular areas. We looked at environmental impact, land use, water use. So there were a lot of things that we were having a discussion on. So I'm really grateful about the work that was done there. So when we're thinking about the recap of our Board of Supervisors meeting, one of the things that we had recognition from ADEP on our tire program. What did you think of that?
I'm talking about used tires now. So
yes, there you go.
I thought that it was great. ADEQ did a good job of it presenting and talking about. We actually got an award, which congratulations to the team at Navajo County for the great work they're doing. And they talked about how the communities really use that program. And so when there's used tires, they have to have a solution to be able to deal with those. And the state has come up with where they'll provide some funding. Navajo County's done a good job of securing some of that funding, and then we have different locations. They talked about one in Holbrook, one in Sholo, and then they talked about even with the tribes being able to bring some of the tires into that, and even some of the surrounding counties sometimes will bring it over into those. So it's up and working, and we even got an award for it. So pretty exciting.
I thought that was awesome, and it really speaks to the work that our organization is doing in environmental. In looking at the environmental impact and how can we do a better job. So that's awesome.
Perfect. And I know one of the other things we talked about that I was appreciative of, they're always looking at the roads. We have a lot of roads that we're responsible for as Navajo County, and part of that, they talked about a few projects. The Silver Creek Crossing they talked about, which is a bridge, and bridges are expensive. And so they're always having to find the right grants and the money to be able to go and take care of them because we have a responsibility, but it's usually a big spend. So I appreciate today they identified a project that is older and needs to be taken care of, and the way that they plan to move forward in helping that community that needs that taken care of. So anyways, great team, great conversation today with that. So
yeah, good stuff. So thank you for joining us today. We're grateful to be able to do a wrap up, and we have Supervisor Whiting who will serve as our chair today, and I will serve as your new vice chair. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at the next Board of Supervisors meeting.
Thank you.